Hitting the buzzer beater or something. Championship game. Dream team. Feeling better than I ever been. Cairo in his bag, this beat is heaven sent. Back up in my element. New whip, trunk up in the front, I whip an elephant. It's all limo tent, that's how you move when you the president. You ass and off stream, treat him like my last name. Disrespecting, you just signed a check for a long day. Appetizer rappers, you will never be an entree. Really, you a condiment. And I hope y'all follow this. Crazy how people with the most money lack the common sense. Batman over Gotham, how I'm over shit. Running this game, now they finally noticing. Hear us on TV like, damn, yup, I know that's them. Just had to pay the dues. Now I feel like we could never lose. Was it's us against the world? Now we finally got the tools. Watch a few years later, turn a puddle to a pool. We just gotta keep it hot to keep the family living cool. All we do is win like a size dad. I just bought my mom a Louis V bag. I just took little bro to BB Simons.
What is good, everybody, man? Welcome into the Coach Terrell Buckley Show. As you can see, only two of us right now. Coach T Buck in a meeting. He'll be joining us shortly, so why not kick it back? Myself, your host, Zach McKinnell, joined by my guy, Coach Leroy Frederick. As we are here, we're just going to talk some general storylines, kind of get the show rolling as we wait for Coach Buckley to jump on here in just a few minutes. But Coach Fred, man, first week, you got a game in like what, 3 days now? Y'all have you headed to Thibodeau? Man, give me your thoughts. How you feeling right now, my man?
Man, it's different, B. You know, after being in one place for a while and now at a different place, and you know, you still get that feeling, man, that it starts to build and it starts to, you start to get a little excited, and you don't want to get too excited too early. But it's nice to have that feeling back, knowing that football is here. And, the uncertainty of Thursday night, man, is what keeps you going. So really excited. And as I tell the kids, let it build. So that's what I'm doing. I'm letting it build. And Thursday night, when that thing, I'm assuming when they have that cannon go off, when they hit the field, as we're hitting the field, I'm sure it'll be a lot of emotion, a lot of different feelings going on. So excited about it, man. Excited to see the kids actually, kick it off this year.
Have you played Nicholls before?
No.
While you were at Alcorn? Okay, y'all didn't play? Okay. I know they've played in the past. I just wasn't sure if you were on the staff or not.
No, we out of that conference, we played
Stephen F. I was at Stephen F. McNeese.
Yep. Stephen F. McNeese in Northwestern.
Northwestern, okay.
Yeah. That's all I was. That's all I played out of that conference. So, yeah, this is gonna be new.
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I mean, it's always exciting when you guys are like the first school to kind of kick off the conference slate, right? Like, I don't think any other SWAT school plays on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
we're y'all are the only one.
Yeah,
all eyes on y'all. I don't know if I don't know if you could tell us. You could just say, listen, no comment, because everyone talks about Valley having the best uniforms. We got the uniforms picked out for this weekend?
Yes, to my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Listen, the candy red helmets are probably the best helmets in FCS. I mean, dude, those are so clean.
Man, I can remember the first time they broke them out when I was at the other spot and they came out. I was like, whoa, okay. Okay, them nasty there, okay. Yeah, actually, those are really nice. They're really nice.
So I have to ask you, because I don't know if you saw, Valley did go viral this week on social media. Did you see that?
No, talk to me. Show it to me. You got it? You got a clip?
No, I ain't got a clip. It was just a post. Your guy, David Jones, went viral this week.
Big Dave, yes, sir. I didn't know he went viral. I'm trying to send him viral. Yeah.
Dude, this tweet did 1.6 million views.
Oh, you got to send that to me.
About him. And it was from like a general college football account. I think the guy was like a Penn State alum. And they were like, they posted a picture of his recruiting visit, his Valley page, and was like, ball player. And they were like, don't ask me how I found this guy. I have no idea. I just came across him. Because, I mean, I think on the roster he's listed at like 400, man. The dude is I mean, man, I can't. I'm being excited to see what he puts on the field. But I was going to ask you if you haven't seen it. I guess that means the locker room hasn't necessarily. So I was going to ask what the response was from the team, man, because you guys
Well,
were everywhere on social
I,
media.
I think they seen it early on, and then I posted it, and a couple people within there posted it, but I don't think it had hit the mill mark when we had first seen it. Um, and then I came back and put together a little medley, and the numbers on that did pretty good as well. But as far as the mill mark, I don't think he knows that because he was on me earlier. It's like, Coach, man, we got to come up with a plan, man. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get a viral moment or whatever. And I'm like, well, you close. Doesn't happen overnight, but I guess it happened overnight.
Well, apparently he's the biggest Division I football player now. After you remember the kid from Florida who went to the league? What was it?
Yeah,
Desmond Watson, I think
yeah,
went. He's the.
yeah.
I mean, and people, and it's funny. Like people don't. I was reading an article about him, man. Like, listen, Dave was an all district player. I mean, all region player. I mean, led the team in pancake blocks. Was playing D tackle, and if I'm not mistaken, um, like someone said he had a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
He can
people, and
actually. You would be surprised. Um, Dave can actually move, man. You would
okay.
really be surprised. He could actually move. And it's funny you brought it up as far as being the biggest player because he is actively working to get that down, of course. But at the 400 mark, he can move. He would surprise you, really.
Are we going to see him in the rotation on Thursday?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm excited. He's already. It's always good, and people always. I mean, any publicity is good publicity, man. It doesn't matter what it is. We got people talking about Valley going into week 0. But before we get to Coach T Buck here in just a minute, Coach, I got to ask you because you were in the room, watched the film, and we want this coaches show to be something different. We want to talk about the things, ask the questions that the SWAC media call don't know how to ask or can't ask, right? Or are scared to ask. What were your first takeaways when you turned on the film for Nicholls preparing for this matchup? Any players that popped out? Anything about the scheme that popped out? Like what were your general takeaways?
General takeaway for me, being on the offensive side, watching their defense, um, the transition from a 4 down to a 3 down tells me that they really like their second level type guys, as far as like their linebackers, their strong safety type guys. But the part that that has us, or has me at least, questioning what we're going to see Thursday night is they did I don't want to say a 360 roster flip, but they flipped quite a bit of people, rather graduation, transfer portal, or what have you. So looking at what they brought in, I would expect a good mix of even and odd, and they want to get after you, and they want to kind of put you in predicaments to make you make mistakes by putting 8 up there, dropping folks out at the last second. So, I expect it to be a chess match early, and I'll be really excited to see how our kids handle it. We've prepared for both, even and odd front. So, whatever they come up with shouldn't catch us off guard. But, if it does, we'll get to the sideline, get it fixed. But really excited to see what they come out in and see how our kids handle it.
The new he's not really. Last year was Tommy Rybacky's first year as head coach over there at Nicholls, and
Right.
he's a long time like linebackers coach / DC under the previous regime with Tim Rebo. And man, they've had some monster linebackers coach like over the past, like since I think it was like 2015 when he got there. Like Nicholls is one of those FCS programs where once you're in the door, like that's just kind of where you are. Like they don't have a ton of like roster. I mean, they have a little bit of roster turnover now, but like staff wise, not a lot of turnover usually. Like those guys are there for a while. But you mentioned like defensively, they only got 3 guys that played over 150 snaps last year coming back. I think only one played over 300 snaps, 2 over 200. So A lot of new names, but offensively, I think they have a little bit more continuity. They find their quarterback late in the year who's coming back, and they really
Yep.
liked what they saw out of him. I actually think I talked about this on the Southland preview. Nicholls is kind of my dark horse in the Southland because I do think that kid can play, and he's got to put it together. I mean, coach, because you know how it is.
Don't
It's
tell
a
me
big,
that.
yeah, it's a big. Well, it's also a big step going from you came in as kind of like the backup guy that took the job mid-season. But
Yep.
coach, coming into the new year, now everyone's got film on you. You're the guy. There's different levels of expectations. It's different coming in because I don't think people talk about it enough, coach. Like, let's just say me and you were in the receiver room. Obviously, I'm not playing receiver, but we'll just go with it. If you go down, it's real easy for me to go in there and play, just go out there and whatever happens, happens. I'm playing free, loose because, coach, I'm not expected to be Coach Fred. I'm just I'm the backup, no expectations. So if I go get 3 for 75, coach, well, did you see Blue had a hell of a game. But coach, once you graduate and I'm wide receiver 1, that 3 for
Mm-hmm.
75 ain't always going to get it done, right? And it gets a lot harder because now I'm getting the coverage roll toward me. I'm getting the corner
Focus.
number 1 on me. He's
Yes.
traveling with me and they're bracketing me. It's a lot harder when those expectations are on you. And so I think that's going to be the big thing for Rodrigue at quarterback for them is with a full season now, we have film on him. Can he replicate what he did like down the stretch last season when they were playing a lot better as a team compared to early in the season? But if you remember, they knocked off what was the Incarnate Word
Yeah.
week 0 last year. And that was kind of like the catalyst that unraveled Incarnate Word season last year.
Yeah, I think that's what sent them down. And I think we talked about that, if I'm not mistaken, so long ago, last football season. But, you hit it on the head now that you've become the focus of defensive game plans. It's no longer by surprise. It's no longer, well, we're going to prepare for 2 just in case the other guy comes back. No, you're the focus now. So it will be a little different for him. And hopefully we can, get to him and, get him off his spot, rattle him a little bit early, and, just kind of see where he is from where he left off. And I know that when you end the year, you're never the same team that you ended, as. And we know that they ended down after a couple of successful years prior to. So we know that pride is still in the building, and they are going to do everything in their power to come out and have a great showing on week 0 Thursday. And, we're going to do the same. So hopefully we can get to him and, get him off his spot and rattle him a little bit early.
I'll be interested because, Coach, I know you got to the job late, but listen, I mean, the recruiting ties kind of overlap with Valley, Alcorn, Nicholls, because Nicholls is one of those programs, Coach, that's been real big on the JUCO market. And that's kind of been your area of, expertise over these past few seasons. How many guys, when you were kind of scouting this roster, were you like, I kind of know what to expect from this kid because I've recruited him or I know him coming out of high school or know him coming out of JUCO? Like, was there a lot of overlap here with like recruiting targets and guys that might have ended up at Nicholls, even though you've recruited them at Alcorn or at Valley now?
There were a couple DTs, D tackles that before everything transpired at the other spot that I had spoke to, went out, got some information during the bye week from the other spot from the previous football year. So, I know they've got some guys in the middle. Now, I don't know what they did in camp. I don't know how it worked out when they got their second semester. So I'm assuming, the rule, man, when you bring a JC guy in, you don't bring a JC guy in to back up. You bring a JC guy in to step in and play right now. So I got to believe that those guys didn't just forget how to play football when they left Kansas, when they left Cali. They got a few of those guys. So, we got to believe that they didn't forget how to play football, that they're going to still be there. The same type of player that I wanted to bring to the program. So, they got some good-sized people, good-sized guys on the inside that we're going to have to move. We're going to have to get them off the spot in order to do what we need to do in the run game and in the pass game. So, yeah, it's a chess match in recruiting and in once you get in between the lines. But yeah, they do have a few guys that I recognize name wise from a few of those places, and I'm just like, God dang it. One of them in particular I really liked. Good kid, good sized kid in the middle. Not as big as Dave, but big, good sized kid in the middle who was really active at his last spot. But hopefully he missed curfew, and he's not going to be able to start the game Thursday when we step out there.
Without disclosing names, because I don't want you to give away anything here, were there any injuries in fall camp that were notable, or like how healthy are y'all going into this game?
We're actually pretty good. I think Coach talked about it on either the last show or the show before that. We actually called, a good stroke of luck, knock knock, to where we didn't have those type of things happen to us, and we went at it early. We wanted to establish some help some guys establish themselves or remove themselves from the mix. And, we went at it, and the kids went, didn't back down from it. So, we had a few that, locked up when you're talking about that Valley Heat, but that was about the extent of it. We didn't have anything major, again, knock, knock, coming out of camp to where, it kind of hurt us. But, I'd say we're fairly healthy.
It's a big thing, man, because injuries have been a huge part of like the past few weeks in the FCS, because I'm sure you saw like North Dakota really, they lose their number one defensive player yesterday, coach, or at the end of last week, where he breaks his foot and has to have surgery. He'll be back in like October though, so it's not a full break, probably, they call it a break, but it's probably more just like a small fracture or something like that that's got to be repaired. Rhode Island's quarterback, All-American kid, might not be ready for Friday night. Got banged up in practice. I think he, shoulder, upper body injury. So we'll see how long. Their wide receiver was held out for precautionary reasons, All-American wide receiver, because he just took an awkward fall in a scrimmage. And it's tough being a wide receiver, right, Coach? That ball's up there. It's an awkward catch. You got to go get it. I get the tendency. So it's always good to stay healthy. I'm so curious on, we talked about the quarterback battle. We've kind of talked about the lines of scrimmage. Coach, the last thing, and hopefully Coach Buck will jump on here in just a second, with scouting these teams, because it used to be, Coach, with so much continuity, you could just flip on the film from last year and watch the team. And it's like, okay, well, this guy's coming back. This guy's coming back. Here's the backup in this situation. With so much portal movement, do you guys turn on film of other teams and check out, like, if it's like, I know this transfer is going to be the starting quarterback, or I know this transfer is going to be a big part of the receiving room or the DB room, do we go watch that film on that kid in particular?
So for me, what I did, because they did have so much turnover early on, I wanted to just kind of get a feel for what the DC does. If he's an odd, if he's a even. I thought in the beginning that they were more of an even team defensively, and you go back and you watch their last like 3 to 4 games and they're an odd. So either they felt better about putting more backers on the field, or they had injuries to where they had to change up the scheme just a little bit. But then, of course, we went back. Coach Sutton, our offensive line coach, he actually went back as well. And looked at some of these kids that they brought in, that they had on the roster, just to kind of get an idea of, what kind of motor player X had coming out of JC. What kind of motor did player Z have coming out of Blue University? We go back and we'll kind of go watch some of those highlights just to see, what kind of player did they actually bring in there. Is he a high motor guy? Is he an even keel guy? Is he a big guy? Some of those programs can have you at 6'5", and then you show up and you be 6'2". So we just try to get a feel for that. But with that, the star of the show, Mr. 50 himself. Coach, what's good, man?
Yeah, what's good, Coach? Mississippi State.
Working. Just when I was getting on the show, compliance walked in, and you know how that go. We got to handle business. So again, I'm here, ready to roll. We done took care of some stuff, feeling really good about the report I got. So let's get it. Let's get it.
I like it. And like we said, got to give you a proper intro. College football, Hall of Famer, 50 plus interceptions, uh, Jim Thorpe Award winner, Florida State legend, and most importantly, coach, the head coach of Mississippi Valley State, Coach Terrell Buckley. Coach, I got to catch your press conference earlier today in the SWAC media call, and me and Coach Fred kind of got his thoughts on the game, scouting, injuries, things like that. I wanted to ask you the same question I asked him to kick this off. When you first turned on the film for Nicholls, what's the first thing that popped up for you in your mind as one of the biggest takeaways on what your team's going to see on Thursday night?
Man, they're physical and they compete. I mean, if you watch them against LSU, the coordinator, the position coach, when they played LSU last year, the system they're gonna bring on the offense, it's unique, and they attack. It's gonna be we're gonna have our hands full. When you saying you physical and you attack, and they play with a little chip on their shoulder.
And Coach Fred, right when you were jumping on, was talking about how hard is it to scout these teams week 0 now? Because Coach, when you were playing, there was so much continuity. You could throw on the tape. Well, you had a long list of guys where if you just watched, let's say Florida State was playing Miami. Well, there's a long list of guys that y'all knew about already, right? It was on the film. How do you go about scouting these new guys that are transfers, JUCO guys, along with watching film on Nicholls and understanding their schematically what they want to do in the game?
Well, instead of studying the guys, you study the coach, right? Like this particular coach that I mentioned is a new OC that was at Western Kentucky, and he comes over. So you got to look at what they're doing schematically. Week 0, really concentrate on yourself to make sure that you're going to put your best foot forward, and then you get to their players. So it's a tiered system that you're trying to work with, because you don't have real tape. Like, they don't have tape on us. They don't know the stuff we're gonna do. So we're not unique in this situation. So you put your head down and you find a way and make no excuses.
I like it. And Coach Fred talked about this a little bit. They do have he won the full-time starter last year, but their quarterback Ian Rodriguez started at the end of last year. And he played really well in that limited action. That team was playing really well toward the end of the year. What did you see from him on film that your defense is going to have to prepare for on Thursday?
Well, you get a returning starter that's a dual threat, and I think anytime you have a dual threat quarterback that understands the system, that he can get the ball to his playmaker. They have a pretty darn good running back. It's gonna keep you up at night. It's gonna bring concerns, and so now you just have to put yourself in a position to limit some of those big plays.
Yeah, and you mentioned they do return their running back. Shane Lee's coming back. I think he averaged almost 6 yards per carry last year. Defensively, though, Coach, me and Coach Trevor talked about, I think they have 3 players that played over 150 snaps last year. That's it. Everybody else is brand new, but you talked about the staff. The head coach has been the linebacker coach, DC, since like 2015. That defensive staff's been around. So you have a lot of film to work off there. Is there anybody that, when y'all were scouting this defense, where y'all circled and was like, these are the key players that we're going to have to deal with when we go up against this team later this week?
And again, it goes back to that. We don't know. You look at you kind of envision or guess based on the DC, the head coach experience, like, where does his better players come from? What position? And then from there, you kind of figure out, okay, he's going to probably have a good player here, a good player here. So let's make sure that we understand where those good players are at and try to stay away from those areas.
Yeah, I know their portal. Yeah, because we talked about their portal class, and Coach Fred talked about it. He recruited some kids on the JUCO circuit. Nicholls is very involved in the JUCO circuit along. Same with you guys. And they also got a kid out of, I think it was Louisiana Tech, Jamal Shelby, 6'3" corner, started in the CUSA. So, they got some playmakers on that side of the ball. Coach Fred, I'm going to let you jump in here because I've asked you guys a ton of questions, man. Jump in here and get your thoughts off.
Well, let me say this. Coach Fred would say the linebackers because he over there with the running back now a little bit. But them corners, when you get corners that can bail and do those things like you just mentioned, the 6'4" corner, then that's why I say position. It's very tough to be able to play the way you want to play without having some solid corners.
And being Mr. 50, he would talk about the corners, but you know, we talk about it. But you know, Coach, after everything, you know, you put the team through, everything you poured into the team during camp, you know, what do you believe you have when you look at who gets off that bus as a team in Thibodeau? What do you believe you have? What kind of team do you have?
I believe I have a disciplined, excited, winner type attitude team that will compete in all three phases of the game, and they care. Just overall, too, you look holistically, good in the community, good in the classroom, which to me equals you're gonna be good on the field. And I think when you do that, my attitude is I'm very, very excited about this team. I'm very, very excited about this year. Probably like most coaches, and cannot wait to see how we're gonna respond to good or bad. And can we consistently take care of business?
And with that, you know, what's the one, I'm gonna narrow it down. What's the one thing we got to do to put ourselves, what's the one thing we got to do to put ourselves in position to win this game?
I'm gonna steal this from prime time. Believe. We got to believe. We got to believe that what we've been doing in camp and what the battles we've had out there, offense, not even a full day, half of practice, defense has a practice, special team battling against each other. And at the end of the day, still having something left to get in that condition and getting in valid shape and leaving there with a positive attitude and a feeling that we got better. I think is what I feel like that I help. This culture has turned into that I instilled in the guys.
Now, what's the one thing we can't do that would prevent us from winning this game?
Not compete, turn the ball over, and not believe.
I know that was a vague question, and everybody says the same thing, every coach. I just want to see if you had something different. But we know turnovers, your percentage winning goes down. But, you know, what message have you given the players about handling the emotion, the excitement, the build-up for week 0, knowing that possibly quite a few eyes in the nation are on us?
And rightfully so. They should be. I think the message goes back to do it in practice. That helps you to understand that you can do it in the game. And truly, the only difference between practice, if you out there competing and giving it 100%, the only difference between game and practice is fans. And people, you still get some people in the stands, but a large group of fans are watching you. You can't say, well, I'm on TV or I'm on tape because we watch film every day. So you watching tape. So what is the true difference? Is you're still on the football field, you still got the same measurements. We're calling the same things. You're going up against, some different people, but football hasn't changed. It's still running, blocking, and tackling and making plays. So being paused the entire time.
And my last question before I throw it back to my guy, Coach, you've played at the Big House. You've played the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, Gillette Stadium, you name it. You played in Lambeau. One of the landmarks. One of the landmarks. what still gets Terrell 50 INT Buckley excited about opening day in football?
Oh man, the national anthem has always been one of the things that signifies the pride I have for not the country, but all the hard work we put in the off season. And finally, when it counts is here. This is the beginning of a new chapter. This is when it counts. What are we gonna put in this new chapter?
I like it. So, Coach, when you initially look at this game, without giving too much away, is there a position group that you got that you feel like Valley has the biggest advantage going into this game on Thursday?
No, God, hell, like I said, we don't know who's gonna suit up out there. I would say, you don't know. I've had it before, like we should have advantage here because we've dominated in the training camp. I've been through that, and then you get in the game, you're like, oh my gosh, we might be the weakling. Or that might be the weakling. So I've learned my lesson. We
That's
gotta
fair.
wait to see what happens.
Every single head coach, whether they say it publicly or not, has a list of goals, like team goals for the week. What's on your list of team goals for week 0?
To really showcase what we've been doing in training camp. That we keep our pause and we execute the way we've been executing. And we play with some we bring the heat, which what we've shown is we've shown heart, we've shown effort, we've shown toughness, right? And the one I just changed around is we've been accountable. The accountability to each other, from off the field to the classroom to each other. When you say protect your teammates, we've done all those things. I want to see that on Thursday.
You talked earlier in the media conference about believing is really the key here. You guys have to believe you guys can go down there and win. Do you feel like this team has bought into that belief more so than last year at this point of the season?
100%. Yes. The way we prepared, the work we put in, the meetings we've had, the conversation with the leadership committee, it's night and day. And like I told you guys before, I've been here. It wasn't, I got here in February of 2025, 3 days before the actual signing day for the spring. And you know how it takes you, your honeymoon period takes you a while to get going, 6 months. But I got here in February, and before you know it, we was in the season, and you still trying to find out guys' names and learn their names. So, that was rough, but it was good, and it's set up for this year. So I'm excited about what we've done, how we built this thing, and the trajectory, the direction that we're going in.
So Coach Fred's already put you on the spot because I got the info out of him earlier that you guys have already picked out the uniforms. Fans always talk about Valley's uniforms are at the top of the swag. Can you break on the show what you guys are rolling out there in?
That all white.
We
We actually have. I'm excited about it. We bought some new jerseys this year that white and hopefully matching what the new helmets were last year. We want to show that the where we're going is first class, and what we're trying to do around here is not just to have a good season, but build a program. And I think looking good, feeling good, playing good. Y'all know the saying. I ain't got to keep saying. That's what we had. Now we need to start getting paid. Good.
The last two, Coach, both are a little bit lighthearted. Every team has a different process. Do you pick out the uniforms each week, or do you let the team vote on them?
It's a combination.
Okay.
It's a combination, and we just talked to them about what looks right, what looks like class, what looks like this is traditionally means, this is going to be a good team. And I don't want to be all about what Dan Lanning said, clicks and uniform connection. We want to look good. We want to go out and represent that look in a classy way.
Yeah, like you said, it don't matter what y'all are wearing. If y'all get the win, Valley fans aren't going to care what you were wearing out there. All that matters is
100%.
that scoreboard and who had more
Yes.
points at the end of the day. Coach, we always end the show with a tougher, kind of lighthearted question. You spoke about how you were really, if you didn't step out of bounds, you probably hold the Florida State record for punt return average.
Yes.
Give me your Mount Rushmore of punt returners in football history.
Man, well, you got to go with Devin Hester.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My man Dion. Cleveland Browns. God. My wife kills me when I say that, when I can't think of the name. I can see him. Cleveland Browns, I know it's going to come to me. Metcalf.
Okay.
Eric Metcalf.
And I can think of one more again. I can see him. And you got to remember, I got a bunch of names in my head. He played for the New York Giants.
He
played for the Giants. He was
Little
very
Megan.
good.
Look at that little.
There you go. Yes, David Megan. Look at you.
Okay.
You know. So I'm gonna give you, along with obviously, you got to, without myself, but we up there. But those will be my top 4, and I'm probably leaving off 1 or 2 that I know. But just remember looking at those guys and saying, "Wow, that's how it's supposed to be done."
Yeah, I think Devin Hester might be the first guy that gets into the NFL Hall of Fame strictly on that returns. I mean, it didn't matter if he didn't catch a single football on offense. Like, you got to put him in just for what he did. I mean, when you return the opening kickoff of a Super Bowl, it don't get any bigger than that.
Well, I'll tell you one other one that I battled in college is and he's very close to Desmond Howard. Desmond Howard won.
Oh, yeah.
I know with the Packers, they give Brett and all that, but without Desmond Howard doing what he did that entire year, and what he's done in returning in the league, I mean, he had a special couple years, but Devin Hester had a career of years. So he would be at the top of that list.
Well, Coach, it's game week, man. Me and Coach Trevor were talking 3 days away from the game. I know you guys got a lot to do, a lot of preparation, so we kept this episode a little bit shorter. We appreciate your time. Appreciate you kind of opening up about the game plan, some players, things like that ahead of the game. We'll be back next week. We're going to recap a little bit of this Nicholls game and then obviously look ahead to y'all's next game, man. So y'all know where to find the show. Make sure to be here next Monday, about the same time as usual. We'll be in between 5 and 6. Listen, man, Coach is a busy man, as y'all see. You never know when a meeting's going to pop up, so just stay flexible with us. We'll be here on Monday night sometime. Just stay locked in. But for Coach Leroy, Frederick, myself, and the star of the show, head coach of Mississippi Valley State, Coach Terrell Buckley, shout out to the V Club as well. We are out for right now. See y'all in Thibodeau.
Put them V's up. Let's go.
Put them V's